Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to talk about what's going on in the crypto markets, what's driving the markets really in total here. And a lot of it was based off yesterday when we had, the consumer price index and inflation data all come out kind of as expected. And when it comes out as expected, there's no surprises. The market likes to take off. And with that, the Fed also talked about potentially still increasing or decreasing the rates, I should say, later. And right now, the market bet is September that they're going to be decreasing rates. And that's why you see all the exuberance here in the stock market and the crypto market and other risk on assets as well. The treasury yield went down. So on the 10-year T-bonds, which drives mortgage rates. And that's a big positive. That's something we definitely want to see for me as a real estate investor as well. I want to see lower interest rates so that moves inventory quicker and better. Again, yeah, it does hurt people as far as it's going to reduce inventory potentially if the rates stay down for any kind of period of time and give people less choices. But hey, on the positive side, it's going to decrease your monthly payment. That's what we need because there's not enough people to qualify for mortgages at the current interest rate. You get it down to 5.5%, you open up to about 9 million new buyers out there. So all assets are getting affected here positively, negatively, in some way or another. But let's talk about what's doing in crypto because that's most important on our minds here. And it's a positive for crypto right now. Bitcoin is broke out of where it was. We need to see it go one way or the other. It did have its 5-point reverse wave. That was all completely done. And it's either going to go up or down. And it was trading sideways there and had to pick a way to go. And this good news kind of helped trigger it up. So that's good news for you, for all of us here with Bitcoin, because that should help us get to that 80 plus K Bitcoin by sometime by the end of June. And here we are in middle May, I should say. I believe we're at the 15th of May here. And that should help drive and push things up and push altcoins in the right direction too, because altcoins were really, Bitcoin corrected 20%, but altcoins corrected 50%. Big correction. These happen in bull markets. For those out there who haven't been through bull markets before, this happens. It's very typical. Also happens around the Bitcoin halving event. Last Bitcoin halving event went somewhat similarly to this, although it didn't have that big initial drive up. It was after the halving that it really drove up. This one had a big drive up before the halving, and then you're going to have a down period, and then you're going to have that next leg up. And how far this crypto bull market goes, don't know. Maybe it ends at the end of 2024. Maybe it goes halfway through 2025. It's still to be seen. Who knows? A lot of things have changed in this market with the ETFs. The ETFs have really pushed a lot of liquidity into Bitcoin and cryptos in general. The meme coins are getting pushed up, which is great. You got Gen Z really driving the meme coin craze, a little bit of millennials, but mostly Gen Z. And this is a good thing. This is a great thing for cryptos. It's fun. It could be gambling, a bit like Las Vegas, where you can really make some money. And we're going to go over some data as far as economic data and show why that's going to drive that a little bit further here. So let me do a quick screen share here. And let me change to, okay. So we're going to go to the Bureau of Labor statistics here. So the producer price index, and the producer price index is a kind of a lagging indicator, right? Because you're not going to see the effects of the producer price index necessarily immediately. You'll have some immediate, but more longer term. And what it shows, if you go through here and you're looking at the producer price index, not easy for me to say. You look at right before and around COVID, it was going down. And then, of course, after COVID, it went down because of COVID. And then, boom, exploded up. And we saw all kinds of crazy inflation, right? And then inflation came down a bit here in 2023, up, down a little bit, and back up. And it's trending upward. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a longer-term trend. Won't get to, hopefully it will not get to where it was before in 2022. But that's yet to be seen. We'll see. Fuel prices are up, and obviously the Israel war, Ukraine war, all these wars have effects on the price of oil, gas, etc., especially in the Middle East. So that's something we have to keep our eyes on, because once you really, if oil skyrockets, gas skyrockets, the economy is going to shut down. That's the first thing that's going to drive it down, because the cost of everything will then go up, and you're going to see all these producer price index really, really go up. And that's something we do not want to see long term here. All right. Let me go to the next one here. Let's go to Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin has its best day in 2 months as the market anticipates a summer of easing. Easing by the Federal Reserve is what that means, which means, easy money, lower cost of capital, more capital being deployed in a risk on assets to get better returns. So less into the treasury, potentially more into assets that would generate a better return. Those assets being crypto, those assets being the stock market, different bonds, potentially real estate. If the rates drop down, right, then risk on goes back on to real estate here as well. So good news there, and we'll see how long this drives and what, if anything, changes the narrative coming up here in the near term. But right now it looks solid. I expect this to kind of stay through May because the saying is sell in May and go away for the stock market, right? So that's kind of where we're heading. It's not going to be the same thing because we have too much weird stuff going on between wars and unemployment still going up. And this is typically the time of year you're going to have more service industry employment because people are going on vacations in the summer, and you need people to help out those vacation spots, right? So you're going to have better employment usually with that. We're not getting that right now. Usually we get the bump during Christmas time too on a retail end for employment. We didn't really get that this year. And I don't anticipate we're going to get that again this year with the rising cost of inflation. I think that's going to, and a rising cost of pricing and everything, food and energy especially, we're going to see a slowdown for Christmas. I expect to see a slower retail for Christmas as well. But I do expect people to be looking for good returns. Whatever cash they do have, they're going to try to generate and make money on that, whether it's in the stock market, a crypto market, and we're focused on the crypto market, right? I don't even touch the stock market personally. But that's what they're anticipating here. Bitcoin went up over 7.5% yesterday, which is great. We wanted to see that, needed it, show us it's going in the right direction. If it can close in that 65, 66 range where it's been today on here on Thursday, that'd be a big positive. And that's definitely something we want to see. And anything else in here? The Fed is expected to reduce the rate, or the money, the street bet is that they're going to drop it by 25 basis points in September and potentially twice in December. We will see. I do anticipate that we will be dropping. I would anticipate that we had dropped sooner, but they're going to wait too long, and they're going to have to really spur it. And that 0.25% might have to go to 0.5% at some point here, and they may do several at the end of the year if data continues to go in a negative direction. And that's something that is yet to be seen here. All right, let's go to the CNBC article here. Here's the inflation breakdown for April 2024. So I believe they were expecting 3.5%. We got 3.4, or maybe they're expecting 3.4. We got 3.4. Slight decrease from March of 3.5. Really negligible. Not much of a difference there. Gas and housing prices continue to put upward pressure on inflation, obviously. And we're paying at the pump, and I'm paying at the pump every day. So I know what that's like. And I got a family of 6 of us. And 5 of the 6 are drivers. So we're really feeling it at the pump right now for sure. And, go look here, juices and drinks. Look at that price increase. These are things we need every single day. And you have pretty high inflation in these markets and these things. So it's definitely a good little article to take a look at here. And it's down obviously from 9.1% inflation that we had during the pandemic era. Yeah, positive there, but things are still trending too much upward, and the dollar is gaining value. So you would think that would be going more in the opposite way, but if the dollar starts losing value, you're going to see inflation really kind of run away from us here. All right, now let's go to something more important that's a big positive in today's market, and that the TON coin, which is Telegram, and Tether teamed up for a mobile app to be able to use Tether to fiat for transactions. This is big, and I'm really bullish on TON for sure. Something I own some and I want to own more of. And even though the market started trending back upward, I think I'm still dollar cost average in a little bit here because I think it's got long ways to go up. I will go over a few a little bit later that I like, that I'm bullish on. But this is great news here. More adoption, and Telegram is used by a lot of younger people, and they're going to be able to utilize this potentially to basically another source to pay for things, right? Most of us use Venmo at this point, all generations are using Venmo, and this is just going to be another integration. Now you can buy Coke with a crypto. Let's just take a look at this real quick here. It's a positive. All right. Get that off. Thought it was a video. It doesn't look like it is. That's all right. So what's going on with crypto today? Anything else? Some stuff with Binance. Yeah, that's going to be more FUD on a market, but nothing big there. Let's go to Bitcoin here, Bitcoin news, and see what's going on here. New gaming. Okay, this is something to look at for the next quarter here. I do think gaming, which hasn't really been much into play here, it has had minimal increases since the bull market has happened. Gaming is going to explode at some point here, and it could explode outside of the bull market, right? We could go into a bear and gaming could explode. It could gain tremendous popularity. So don't think it's just within the bull market it's going to go up, because there's a lot of things that go up in bear markets. Certain types of use cases come about, and if that crypto has that use case, it's going to obviously go up. And it's hard to know what is going to go up when, but AI has been going up, right? And that's going to continue. That trend will continue. So I'm long bullish on AI, and I think that is something that even when the market turns bear, I think AI could continue to go up. If you just kind of think about the use cases of things, right? Because, meme coins, when the bull market turns to a bear market, are just going to go right down the tubes, right? It was like the NFTs last market. NFTs still haven't gained that kind of popularity they had in that last bull market a couple of years ago. So we're going to have to really keep our finger on a pulse as to what's a longer term use case, what's usable in a bear and a bull market. Obviously, the bull market is going to run more than it will in a bear, but you'll have times where different companies join together, like we have had with some of the AIs, which have really grown, certain ones like Singularity.net. Among others. But I think if you're going to invest in these AI, you need to invest in multiple ones here. But crypto gaming, I think, is something that hasn't been hit yet. It's going to go up. Things that are also like Polkadot, which is into AI now as well, and also in gaming, that has not run yet. Chainlink has not really run yet. Chainlink is an oracle. Obviously, it feeds info in at least 7 different blockchains that I'm aware of, if not more. That one is still got a great long-term use case, right? It's going to ride and go up and down with the bull market and bear market. So keep that in mind. So bull market, yeah, it's good, but get to the end of the bull market, you might want to unload some of that, move it into something else, stablecoin, cash, whichever. You're going to have to figure out exactly where you think things are going. And we'll talk about that on this channel a lot. I want to really try to help put you in the right direction as far as where things are headed economically, what type of cryptos might benefit from a downturn or, typical an upturn. But I do think Telegram is a great long-term one to have, even in a Toncoin, even in a bear market, it won't get hit as hard as others. Bitcoin's obviously not going to get hit as hard as others in a bear market now that has an ETF. If Ethereum gets an approval for ETF, which BlackRock is pushing, then Ethereum will be hit less too. Instead of these 70 to 80% retracements, we might be down to 40 to 50% retracements on those. Won't be a stable coin, but just know that you could buy dollar cost average in on the way down and then ride it back up for the next bull. My Bitcoin, I just have never sold it. I've always kept it. Almost all my cryptos I have kept and sold so little. I'll have more tax ramifications for next year, probably as I sell things as this bull market goes. Have certain dollar points I've set up to sell. All right, so let's see what's going on here. If there's anything that's affecting anything in particular. Robinhood is obviously connected with Coinbase here to fight against the SEC, which is good. They're launching the first staking product. That will probably be wildly popular because a lot of people use Robinhood. A lot of millennials use Robinhood. So that's a popular one, and people will use it for staking. Very, very interesting there. So that's something to keep in mind there if you own any Robinhood stock. I personally don't. I don't get into that. All right. Now let's go to crypto prices. So Bitcoin at 64.8, it's dropped a little bit from the 66.5, 66.6 that it was earlier today, but it's some profit taking. See where it ends up. I'm thinking it's going to end up somewhere between 64 and 66, which would be bullish and excellent here. Ethereum is doing nothing. It's almost acting like a stable coin. The price has been so similar over the past couple of months. Solana's had a nice little bump up today. Obviously, Toncoin on the news has gone up. Doge, obviously the most popular meme coin out there. SHIB number 2, SHIB Inu. And Cardano doing what it does, which has been next to nothing. That's another one I'm bullish on long term and has not moved yet. So if you're looking to where to put money that hasn't moved yet, Cardano would be one. XRP another, obviously. Once that settlement takes place with the SEC as far as the dollar amount for that fine, I think you'll start seeing XRP running at that point. And along with XRP, XLM runs with it. Remember that. So Stellar Lumens, they'll run together. I have a little bit of Stellar, but I hold way more of the bag of XRP. Near is a great long-term one, up 9.4% today. Buy, keep. It's a great one. Near is one of my favorites here. Polygon, which has not moved, has been solid. Chainlink, again, been solid, has not moved a whole lot. Litecoin was used popularly in transactions. A lot of people like to take it as a form of payment. Went over 100 here. It's dropped down. I think the all-time high is around 400 or so roughly. I do expect it to get to that, if not higher, potentially eclipse 500-600 in this bull market. It's lost a lot of its luster. But if you think of Bitcoin as gold, Litecoin was always meant by Charlie Lee when he made it to be silver. So it may gain some popular. What's not popular now could become popular down the road. So think about that. As Bitcoin is more and more people are buying up Bitcoin, there's less and less available. Litecoin might become more and more popular, or even Bitcoin Cash, right? Bitcoin Cash, which has run in a bear market, Bitcoin Cash really ran. I could have gotten it for $70, $80, $90 a year and a half ago. Now look at it. It's been over 600, I believe, at some point in this bull market. The all-time high is, I believe, 4,500 on it. Hedera hash graph, big time bullish on this one. Good long-term one. It spiked to 16 a couple weeks ago on news that BlackRock was going to be utilizing it. But that turned out to be not true, and it crashed back down. Good time to buy it. I'm bullish on it long term. Cosmos, man, this is one of the best blockchains out there, and there's so much on Cosmos's blockchain, and it is so undervalued. So undervalued. It's another one I need to buy more of, and we'll be adding to my bags. Stellar, I guess, again, I said that goes with XLM. I'm always bullish on Theta. We'll get to that here shortly. And T, Fuel, and more meme coins, right, dog, with that. It's amazing, 278 right now. Optimism, another good, solid, long-term one. Monera's down. Oh, Sui, I'm very big on as well. And look, Phantom is going to have, I believe, a lot of meme coins launching on its blockchains. That could be the next one to go. If you're thinking about what is the next blockchain to go, put Phantom on your list. Another one to invest in. Injective has been much higher, 40, 50, I think, at this cycle, and it's really dropped. So it's on sale right now, good price. Theta is on sale, good price. Thorchain is doing really well. Let's see what else we got here. If there's anything else that jumps out at me. Algorand, again, it's an older blockchain. I think it's been around since 2017. Another Ethereum competitor type. I do like it. Gala, I really like in the gaming. Epic Games, I believe they have some of their developers on there. Very good graphics. I just think this is a good one longer term. And again, Singularity.net, which we talked about earlier, under $1. I think that's a good value right now in the AI theme. So those are some of the ones that I'm really bullish on. Multiverse X could be a good play, but it's going to be up and down. Axie Infinity has been around for a while. I won't touch WorldCoin, but some people like it. You got Sandbox. That's very, very cheap, but it has lost a lot of luster. That whole metaverse theme has lost a lot of luster. So I'm not getting into that anymore. There's certain ones I want to try to find undervalued ones, and I'm going to try to create some more videos here on individual cryptos. I'm going to try to interview some people as well that run some of these cryptos. Hope that helps you guys here. I just want to give you guys, a short 20-minute update or so here. We're running in that 20-minute time frame. Just wanted to let you know kind of what's driving the market, where things are heading. We're going to look a lot economically at what drives these markets, where things are heading economically. We'll talk a little bit about real estate too, because when you take profits, the best place to put that money into would be real estate. And we'll talk about down the road, we'll talk about how you can have huge tax advantages with real estate to offset your crypto gains. Because when you had some of these massive crypto gains, if you put it into a rental property where you can do what's called cost segregation analysis, which allows you to write off a tremendous amount in year 1, 2, and 3 against the gains, can offset your income, will be big. So that's something we'll talk about down the road here as well. I do have a YouTube channel on in real estate. It's called The Virtual Investor. You can feel free to take a look at that. I talk a little bit about cost analysis at some points, some videos in there, but I want to get a little bit more here as the bull market rages and people need to transfer money, and real estate will be a good thing, and it might be very undervalued at that point. Obviously, it's tough to say undervalued, but undervalued prospectively, because we are just in such a bull market still for real estate in different parts of this country. But there are areas where you can find great values. We'll talk about that later. All right, guys, enjoy this bull market, trade wisely, and pick up the good stuff, pick up the good cryptos, and don't be afraid to be dollar cost averaging Bitcoin always. Catch you later.